Welcome back. This video on key tips for selling your home covers demand and competition, or what we call the market. Essentially, there are three big subjects sellers end up coming back to. Number one is your motivation, which we talk about in our first video. Number two is the market you're selling in, especially demand. Is it there right now? And number three is possibly the most important part in all of this, and that is the difference between the estimated market value we come up with and the asking price you decide on. We've already discussed our motivation. It's time to talk about the market you have to work with. Just think, if you got an offer on the second day of marketing in a raging seller's market, that's an entirely different offer than one on the second day of a raging buyer's market. One you might consider, but not necessarily take. The other, you'd be wise to really think about. You see, different market characteristics mean different decisions for you to make. As far as demand goes, no demand or even slow demand for a house like yours means just one thing: the days on market can blow out. I've seen in small country towns where no one was buying at the time, and the average days on the market for a property was 6 months. That's a long time if you're planning on moving to a new job in, say, 1 month. We need to factor that into the plan as we work through the best way to meet your objectives. In some cases, even a property price below the market may still take a long time to sell if the demand isn't there. So instead of getting anxious and worrying that no one likes my home, we need to understand the dynamics that are at play here. One of the other things worth considering is how much competition do you have out there? Are there lots and lots of homes like yours for sale? Or is yours the sort of one-off type place that doesn't really have much competition? Again, things we need to know as we work through the whole transaction. So do some homework on this. You need to get an understanding of the dynamics of your market. This is one of the things we'll be talking about, or you'll be talking to your agent about. The three different markets you may be selling in makes a huge difference to your decisions. The aim here is to keep these videos short and to the point. There's a lot to talk about in terms of the market, so let's look at what's at play here. When you're in a buyer's market, the first indication we see is less buyers inquiring. There's less home opens and less general inquiry during the week. There'll be more for sale signboards everywhere, more listings, generally in your neighbourhood, more advertising on the internet and so on. One of the reasons for that is the average days on market blow out. In some cases, houses may take, on average, up to 150 days to sell. That's 5 months. Competition can build. More homes for sale means the possibility of more just like yours for sale. There are more properties for buyers to choose from. There's simply less sales taking place in a buyer's market. Prices in these markets can be stalled or dropping, and the buyers have the power here, especially during the negotiation process. If you don't engage with their price, they simply walk down the road to the next property for sale. Auction results are low for under-the-hammer sales. Overall, the process might get the result, but on the actual day of auction, or in the industry what is known as under the hammer, results can actually drop. Now let's compare that with the opposite, the seller's market. There are more buyers around, more at home opens, and this can create pressure to make decisions. Less homes for sale, less for sale signs, and less advertised on the internet. This means there's less to choose from for the buyers, creating more pressure. The average days on market drops down. It can be as low as 20 days here. Less stock means less competition on your home. The volume of sales is also higher. Prices can be firm or rising, and the seller has the power here. If you don't buy my house today, there'll be another buyer along really soon. And lastly, results under the hammer going up 90+% is not uncommon in a great seller's market. So we've covered two of the markets. The third is the balanced market. This is where the sales are matching the houses coming onto the market. In this market, a particular house might put itself into one or another of these markets. A great house might put you in a strong selling position. It's imperative that you understand the dynamics of your market for this exercise. So start reading, visiting websites, and figuring out just what it is that's happening out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.